happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. So, what's good? What's good, everybody? So, we gotta have this discussion, right? Just really gotta have this discussion. So, for everybody who has an issue with the Black Manosphere, right? Come on down. Cause I want to know what y'all problem is. See, I extended this to uh Big J Triple X a few days ago. I told him I'll be going live either Tuesday night or Wednesday. So he knows I'm live. I waited till like 7 o'clock to do it because I feel like, people are normally home. So now being in this space for as long as I've been, I kind of find it interesting that people, are coming into the space, which is cool. They got their issues with it, which is cool. But my question is, so what's your real issue? Because a lot of y'all issues aren't really issues. A lot of y'all issues are really just kind of based in, um, I want to say what you saying in a better way. And there's really no conflict, like you're saying. You agree with it, or you're delusional, or you don't really have a real disagreement. You just don't like the messengers, or what was being said triggers you, even though you know it's true. So at the end of the day, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What's your real issue? What is your real issue? You know, to me, I think it's BS. I think a lot of people's issue is let me put this in the chat real quick. I think a lot of y'all issue is y'all don't have one. A lot of y'all have not necessarily self-hate issues because you don't hate yourselves, but you just have issues with Black men in general, even though you may be a Black man. So this is your perfect opportunity to take a shot at cats just because they're saying something you don't like. So for me, like, all right, so what we doing? What we talking about here? So, for all the guys who are, I don't like Kevin Samuels. Okay, bring it up here, you know, unless you want to kill him under the wing. Okay, that's your issue with the Black Manosphere. I want to kill him under the wing. But, real talk, like, what's your issue? I'm here. I don't have all night. I got a couple hours. Don't lie now. But and if you come up here, if your issue is I'm gonna come up here to talk crazy to you, you know, if you're not gonna talk to me like that to my face, you might not want to talk to me like that online. Because I really want to know what the issue is. And some of y'all, these niggas, bitch ass niggas, and da 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 da. You never make a talking point though. You sit here, you cuss people out, you diss people who don't even know you exist. But when it comes to the talking points, which you have an issue with the space or what's being said in the space or the things that have been said, you really don't say anything. This is all for show. It's all for the idea that, oh man, let me tell you, I feel a certain way, and it's like, listen, if you got all these problems, bring it. Bring it. If you're a woman, same thing. What is your issue? Bring it. I don't care. I don't care what you gotta say, really. And some of y'all really have an issue with the space because y'all are stupid. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Some of y'all are stupid. Y'all don't really think that things through. You're not thorough. You're just saying stuff. Some of y'all saw thumbnails and you got triggered. You never heard a word somebody said. You saw clips and you didn't listen to the whole commentary, or you didn't listen to the bulk of it, or you didn't even listen to the bulk of the section that you got that preceded the words that you didn't like. You didn't listen to what they were saying before it, during it, or after. Some of y'all are just stupid. Y'all just like arguing for arguing's sake, you know. And some of y'all like being stupid, and then you want somebody to go down the stupid rabbit hole with you. And then when people don't go down the stupid rabbit hole with you, you don't know what to do. So at the end of the day, what's your real issue? As you see in the thumbnail, come on down. This Bob Barker. The price is right, and the price is wrong for some of y'all. It's wrong. I should have found a Happy Gilmore picture, but whatever. And even what do you call that? The quote unquote the LBGTQ community, the non-white, the non-black people, you know, who got an issue with black issues. You know, what's your real issue? Come on down. You don't like the black manosphere, even though you know you're not black. Like you know, and the black people who got the issue with the, you know, FBA, they're foundational black, and these people from the Caribbean or Africa, and we got an issue there, and you know, it's like, oh, okay, what's your issue? What's your real issue? Your issue is because we from here and you from there. Your issue is because we in America and you came to America, or you live in America now. What's your real issue? You know, that's why you see Jerome in the background. You know, I want to know. That's why my the link is in the chat. You know, and as the people come in and there's more people coming and more people show up, I'm gonna keep putting it in the chat because that's what I want to know. That's what I want to talk about, and I do it in reverse. You know, I have multiple people up here who got issues. We can go 1-on-1, you know, 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Pause. But let's see what it is. And for some of you, y'all just want to pontificate. Y'all just want to say something. Y'all just want to be heard and say something. And really, and truth be told, you don't really have an issue. You just want to be on a platform being heard saying any old damn thing. So you just being a contrarian to be one. So let's get it popping. You know, for all you folks out here, y'all swear y'all make video after video after video after video after video after video. You don't have no original content of your own. You watching everybody in the space. You trolling people in the space. You dissing people in the space. You jealous of people in the space. Well, what's up? And if you don't know me, you're right. I'm a smaller channel compared to the bigger guys. You don't know me, but all them bigger guys know me. All of them. Don't leave nobody out, you know. To it. Well, get on here, Blue. That's what the link for. Nobody said you got to believe everything to a T. Nobody said that. You know, to me, that's a person's issue. Oh, well, Big J here. Finally, jerk. You know, we got something to talk about. Hold up, Big J. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. So I know you got a problem with the space. So what's the deal?
Well, I got a list of problems.
Hold on. My bad, bro. Don't mean to do that. Like I said when I first started, I asked Big J about this initially. So me and him gonna rock for a minute for anybody who comes along. Okay, you got it, bro.
Well, I have a list of problems with it. I'm
Shoot.
talking about Manosphere 2.0. My problem with it, is some of the talking points are archaic.
Like.
That's one. Number two, the lack of a political objective.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing is trying to demand respect, but then people who are in this space demanding respect are the same ones who are dishing out disrespect at the same time. It's both a personal. I have both a personal issue with it and a ideological problem with it. I got both problems with it. On a my problems is personal. My problems with it is political problems with it, and also have a problem with it is not furthering the advancement of black boys and men,
Okay, so
and I see
which
it as
one you want to start with?
ineffective.
Okay, which one you want to start with specifically?
Well, let's talk. Let's talk about the personal. No, no. You know what? I'll put the personal later on. Let me talk about the political. Since though you since I don't have no beef with you, let's talk about the political and the ideology reasons.
So
If
you
this
got
space if this space is for uh for black men to have a voice against the what we perceive as the gynocracy. Therefore, if we spend all this time for the past 15 years talking about it, I assume at some point um, somebody would have at least put out a manifesto or a white paper or blue paper to address these grievances that we supposedly having.
but they
And why
did.
haven't there
There's
has not
multiple.
been? And my
There've been
issue is,
multiple books.
say what?
They have. There've been multiple books.
Such as
Grinch did a book. Obsidian just did a book. I wrote a book on non-custodial parenting. Ron was writing books on dating and self-improvement.
yeah,
Kevin
but
is about to write a book.
yeah, but those books are not about addressing the political and social issues concerning black
Yeah,
men.
actually, no, no. Okay, those books do, I would say, except for around like dating parts, but not, but things deeper than dating. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they actually do.
Uh, show me where then. No, no, you got to show me. Tell me who's really putting out a white paper about um black boys being miseducated, black boys not
You
being
know
locked up in
that
economic issues.
that's part of time in Tommy Curry. You
Yeah, but
do
Tommy Curry is not part of the Black Manosphere though.
actually. Okay, well, all of his colleagues are except for him, and he's comfortable with us referencing his book. You know that, right?
I understand Tommy Curry issue, but outside of him, there's nobody else, far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, everybody references the same things that Tommy Curry referenced in his book, in their books for the most part.
Yeah,
Now, Curry's book may have came out before some or after some, but some of the same issues when it comes to schooling, when it comes to parenting, when it comes to policing, that's part of it. When it comes to parenting and parenting time, and that's definitely part of it.
okay. Now, if this is going to be a back and forth between me and you, let's, what is your what is that you want to ask me though?
Oh well, I mean, for me, we gonna go back and forth, but with that, I'm gonna give the real responses from being in this space this whole time. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna dance around it. So when I will come back to you with certain things, but with that one, it's really nothing for me to say on that because you can you can look buy the books, read the books, and see where they have part chapters and parts of the book and segments, even in different chapters about these type of things. Now
Yeah,
the issue
yeah,
normally
yeah, yeah,
is
but because of those books, right? There has not been anybody put out a white paper to
okay.
address that. It's one thing to make a book, write a book, and like I'm gonna use Bama Tumbe's uh Negro Wars. There is like
Mhm.
you open up that book. Where is a an index or a bigger bibliography? All of this is just ranting in some of them books, but there's no um there is no resolution to how to actually address those problems concerning black men or black boys, and it's mostly a grievances of one's personal life or personal um, their own personal grievances rather than looking at it from an aspect of society. And I believe when I every time I look at a Sidian, I'm using him as an example, or Anger Man is usually they're part of the Manosphere because of personal reasons, not because of here is a problem that needs to be solved. Here's a problem that needs to be addressed. Let's go ahead and address them. It's mostly a crying out, quote unquote, about their personal what happened to them in the past. And I think though that leads people to astray.
Okay.
That's that.
So
What? Go ahead.
so for me, it comes off that, and this is an issue that I have with people who have an issue with the space. They have a tendency to want to be something exactly the way they want it to be from the space for it to count. If it's in the space and it exists in the space, yeah, but it's not the way I want it to exist and the way I want it to look in the exact way that I want it. So I don't. So it's discounted, which to me is not just moving up the goalpost, but more so is disingenuous. Because earlier you also talked about how you've been around the space for 15 years. So 2007, but your issue was quote unquote 2.0. And even from the quote the 1.0, if you've been around for 15 years, you know for a fact that will wind up happening, and I don't even think it was 15 years ago, but I've been on YouTube for almost 10 years, so I could be wrong. Um, but what happened with 1.0 is it was a bunch of black men from different parts of the United States saying what their grievances was, and come to find out everybody was having the same problem. So that's what it built on.
Yeah, yeah, but
So these
now I
things didn't
wasn't,
come out of thin air for
e-
people.
even though I witnessed 1.0, I wasn't a part of 1.0. I witnessed it, but how they went about it, like what Doug Titian was doing his thing with fathers' rights, you know, that's something that should be inspiring. While people, like one YouTuber whose name I ain't gonna mention, just believe that all black women are the enemy, and made that a point rather than addressing it's almost like people trying to have a trauma bonding session rather than trying to resolve a problem.
But
That's how I view it, as trauma
oh,
bonding.
okay, and that could be, it's a trauma bond. Now the question, so is the problem that they're trauma bonding, or is the problem that they have trauma to bond from in the first place?
Well,
So
if
we erase that part of it and just get mad at them for trauma bonding.
yeah, but how many times? Okay, it's one thing to have red pill rage, but how many times though are you gonna? How long are you gonna stay on the red pill rage um um part in life? Because
That
I remember when I was red pill raging, it took me a year or so.
okay,
But like you got people who still real pill raging after for like 10 plus years, and you're still red pill raging. I see a problem.
yeah,
It's
but
more, and then those some of the arguments being raised is, okay, is the women the fault? The women are the fault. But the more I see these guys argue um and red pill raging on these, on various panels, the more I see that they are the problem, not the women that are the problem.
okay, so I'm gonna do this two ways. For all the people who have an issue with the space, you notice, in my opinion, y'all very concerned about the people who are in red pill rage, but the people who aren't don't exist to you. It's good for the argument. It does exist, but you act like there's not an antithesis to that in that same space with people who actually still work together. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, the guys that turn this around and say, man, my issue with that is it's funny that, okay, as a man, you shouldn't be in red pill rage, but if if you as a man, as a black man in particular, I mean, we've been dealing with red pill rage from our community at us unnecessarily, by the way, for decades, and that doesn't seem to be a problem with the people who have an issue with this space. That's just par for the course.
I disagree with you on the second one, but because somebody who knows me, I used to go in on those on the pink pill women for
But the
like
pink
their
pill about swirling.
huh.
The pink pill women about swirling.
Yeah, but but my problem with them was them going after black men in the narrative. But it's one thing to fight against the narrative, but then there's another when you fight against the narrative, you create another You create it's one thing though to fight an enemy, but at the same time, the rhetoric creates more enemies um unnecessarily, and that's what I see with the space. There are a whole lot of people that would support the manosphere or the black manosphere.
There's a whole lot of people that support it now. It keeps growing.
No, but the point is y'all would have a lot more supporters if some of the rhetoric was not as toxic. Because the thing is one thing. I'm gonna use the Christian Carazon thing as an example. It was one thing when all of us was going at him, and I was going at him too. But some of y'all in this space, so some people in this space kept on going after other women for no fucking reason. I'm like, dude, why are you going after this woman? Why are you going after this woman? I mean, it's like though people just creating more enemies unnecessarily in this space,
Oh, okay.
unjustly.
Okay, so it could come off that basically you're saying, you were going against the pink pill people, right? Because of their narrative. But at the same time, that pink pill narrative was just a black male narrative that was already used with people who weren't pink pill. So they can create unnecessary enemies. They can get at people unjustly, and the response is the issue
Yeah,
because those
that's
conversations
part of
still
it.
exist.
That's part of it. That's part of it. Yeah,
So the so
part of
the so ultimately, I will come to the assumption that people in your position say, "Look, you're a man. Shut up and take it like you've been
it.
taking
No, I
it."
never even said
And
that. Where I
no,
said that
I'm
at
saying
all?
that's how it can be taken. I'm not I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but I'm telling you this is how it can be taken. From being in this space this long, it's like, oh, okay, I should just deal with it. I should just shut up and take it. Again, like I took it for 5 years ago and 10 years ago, and I saw my uncles take it, and my brother take it, and my father take it, and my grandfather take it. Let's just make this that's black being the black tradition. Shut up and take it.
No, let me restate my statement again because I don't know if you're I don't know if you just I don't know if you're not understanding. Here's the thing: when it comes
No, I
to
understand you. I understand.
okay, like somebody else would take the tail end of what. Okay, if you're if you're fighting a war, there's going to be collateral damage, right? So 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 the problem is that we don't want to. The problem is with this space is it creating a lot of collateral damage. Therefore, because of a lot of this collateral damage, it creates more and more enemies or more people who are more of detractors. And that's my point on that level. The second point, the other point is the lack of of a political or legal um, objective. If I see Doug Titian being there in London doing father's rights, then And then I see people like, I don't know, the Honey Badger Radio women, they're the Lighthouse Project and all these other projects within the greater manosphere of freeing men out of jail. But then I don't see that same initiative under the 2.0 generation of the manosphere. I see that as a problem. If people really want to be respected, you have to project some power. And I don't see no power being projected, L.R. That's I don't see that. All I see is talking about celebrity gossip, or this woman over here, this woman over here, Brittany Renner, the next day, and Miss Average at best, as if Miss Average at best is affecting young men in 2030, 2040, 2050. It seems that in this space, when concerning Black Mansion 2.0, is mostly for me, and based on the rhetoric, is addressing past pain rather than trying to advance something that will benefit boys within the next few decades. And I don't see that.
Okay, before I get to the political point, so have you seen that the Black Manosphere debunked a gang of the narratives that wind up being lies about black men?
And what are these? Repeat that again, sir.
Have you seen that the Black Manosphere, let's do just 2.0, have debunked a bunch of the narratives that wind up being lies about black men?
A lot of those talking points has been debunked, but
Okay.
you also create another narratives that are not true, or certain narratives that was also archaic um, in nature.
So you so the political part.
All right, go ahead.
I get the political part. I get the networking part. What I don't get about it is, why would people who have an issue with the Black Manosphere think that the Black Manosphere in itself would tell people who don't like it what our political agenda would be in the first place? Because
Well,
from this perspective,
I guess
from
you forget though. Listen, if the Lighthouse Project by Diana Davidson had freed
mhm,
black men out of jail, wouldn't
mhm,
it be an embarrassment for a Caucasian woman who's part of the general manosphere freeing black men out of prison, when its black
part of it.
counterpart has not made any effort in addressing that?
So
Is one thing. Go ahead.
so ultimately, when did the Lighthouse Project start?
I want to say 2015.
Okay. Did the Lighthouse Project, did it build upon things that were already happening about freeing black men from jail?
As far as I know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just looking at
that's
that
an
person as I'm just looking at that as that's part of the
no,
manosphere, the general
no, wait.
manosphere, and I'm saying, wait a minute,
Mhm.
you telling me, I'm just saying, you telling me that a white woman doing something that black men should be doing in the first place?
So here's one of the interesting things. Do you remember when the Black Manosphere and even people outside of the Black Manosphere was talking about the Detroit 300 and my brother's keeper?
Yes, I
Do you
actually
remember
made.
what you
Yeah,
remember
I
what they
actually
what was
actually
said then?
defended. And hold on, L.R. More, because
Okay, I got you.
I made a video in support of my brother's keeper, and when those women was going at, I actually went hard on the paint against those women who was like William Crashaw Williams, like Kimberly Crashaw Williams, and them more black pastors who was against my brother's my
No,
brother's
you're my
keeper
brother's keeper. I
initiative.
got you.
Yeah.
Right. So and I can move forward to saying, you remember the Black Manosphere had an issue with Me Too?
Yes, I
And the
remember
reason
that.
why I had it in Black Lives Matter and the reasoning?
Uh, yeah, but y'all's reasoning for Black Lives Matter is because the women were gay.
Uh,
Based on the narrative I hear
the,
from
the,
most
the
people in the space.
reasoning wasn't just that they were gay. You do you remember what they put up on their website?
Yeah, LGBTQ, getting rid of the traditional family, yada yada yada, that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
That was what sparked the reasoning. Because if you remember, even with that situation, in the beginning, even with Black Lives Matter, there were a bunch of black heterosexual men that got killed who were at the forefront that they didn't want to be at the forefront. And then those guys got killed. And then all of a sudden, the ladies, quote unquote, took over and it became about everybody but black men from the organizational standpoint.
Yeah,
So I'm
but do you?
saying what I'm okay, you got it,
No,
you got
no,
it.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm saying that to say this. When you talk about the political aspect, we have been even before jumping into the political aspect, you've been here watching the same thing we've been watching that, oh, we have to, if we go into politics, we got to do it completely differently. Because in our own community, we have interlopers and provocateurs and agents who are trying to shut it down from the inside. So why let people who are from the outside know what's going on the inside? Why?
But at the same time, though, would you agree that that the reason why, me having talked to some people who was part of Black Lives Matter, that they put that in there was to gain support from people who were liberal slash progressive, as a networking advertising to network with other groups of people.
Okay, so you also remember. Okay, since we're gonna go there, you know who funds them, right? Since you say it's liberal, right?
Yeah, yeah, the George
Right.
Soros and
So
all that. Yes.
here's the thing. Do you remember the response that was to Blexit in this same space?
Uh, you have to remind me of that.
You remember how, people in this space went at Blexit because they was like, you doing the same thing Black Lives Matter is doing, but
Oh
you're
yeah,
just,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
you're funded by white people saying it's a black issue, but you're really not dealing with a black agenda. You remember that? Now that I reiterate that, you remember that?
Okay. So tell me, what is a black agenda then? Because if the argument is black boys, black men, and the future for black boys, then why is there many videos trying to compare or make these judgment calls about, well, get you a white girl, stop fooling with Kraniqua and get you a Becky.
Now I'm
You
gonna
see,
ask you.
if you can't, I mean, it sounds hypocritical for me, for somebody to tell me, and I ain't no swipe at you, to
Hmm.
say, well, we, about the black agenda, but then the same people who talk about the black agendas are propping up Becky and all these other women, and just like what Kevin Samuels did 3 weeks ago when he talked about Latino women, um,
Mm-hmm.
are the enemy or the competitors of black women.
Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
how's
Wait a
that supposed to be
minute.
a black agenda behind that?
Wait. Okay. So I'm gonna take all of those in order. I'm gonna try to.
Okay, go ahead.
So you know what? I'm gonna start backwards because I don't. No, I'll take that back. I'm not gonna start backwards. So as far as the black agenda, you've heard in this space plenty of times people talk about traditional family values. Traditional family values are actually a part of a political agenda, are they not? And
Yes.
so you've heard most people, even in the black manosphere space, be conservatives, say they were conservative. Not necessarily conservative as far as Republican. We got people who are conservatives and Republicans. We got people who are just conservatives. That's the bulk of the men in the black manosphere. So the issue that came with that about the boys and the communities had a lot to do with how boys were being parented, had a lot to do with how even the girls were being parented, had a lot to do with people making unilateral decisions with children, trying to X the men out of the situation, and then when things fail, blame the men. And then all of a sudden go off to, you could say, or I'll say a liberal or progressive agenda to say, oh, well, we need money because the neighborhoods are bad, the kids are bad, and we don't know because the father's not in the home, but not telling the story of you put these kids in a bad situation.
And I would agree with you on that. But here's the thing. But okay, but to sit there and say though you are a conservative, but then the same individuals who say they are conservative, they never tell you what conservative value. It seems to me
Yes, they do.
most people who claim to be conservative only conservative because they want to, in my opinion, want to control the sexual access of women.
Well, so the men in the black manosphere want to control who women have sex with.
I mean, let's look at all these videos about no, I'll date a white one, but you better not date a Brad. I'll get me
You
a
say
Brad.
you better
You better
not
not
date
get
a
a Brad.
Brad.
I mean, you have don't.
They don't. Okay, that's another thing I forgot to answer in the order. This is one thing that people do. They conflate things. Now, are these people in the black manosphere or these people in the manosphere and they happen to be black? Because a lot of times we know if you've been in this space long enough, and I'm not talking about people who don't know this space. I'm talking about people who do. You throw guys in who you know are not in the black manosphere when it's convenient because you don't have that really on the black manosphere. So it's a black guy. He's in the manosphere. So I'm gonna say black manosphere, and then I'm gonna go, yeah. But you know good and well they not, because most of the guys who push uh interracial dating who are even in the black manosphere, they still date black women. Do they not? The
Okay,
ones that
then,
say you should date somebody, you can date somebody else. They say you can, but they still date black women and the other people. They don't just exclude them.
okay, L.R. But how can you say what you just said when Kevin Samuels just said this about 2.5 weeks ago about black women, Latino women are now your competition.
Okay, is that a lie?
Um, is it a lie? I mean,
Yeah, is it a lie?
me being in Texas, me you being in the same state,
Mm-hmm.
as that competition, not necessarily.
He didn't say. He said they're their biggest competition, as in what we've talked about in this space before, and you've heard it before. Brothers say, look, I know y'all sisters are concerned about guys dating white women. Is them not the ones you need to be worried about? You need to be worried about first is them Hispanic ladies, them the Latinas. They're who we're checking out before we check out white women. Have you heard that in this space before?
Yeah, I heard it in this space before. Yes.
So when you hear people talk about being in Texas, being in California, being in New York, being in Chicago, being in Miami, if going, let's go fly to the Dominican Republic or Brazil or Colombia
But having
or
said
get
that, yeah, but having said that, though, you also presented a clear and present danger of trying to um, create warfare between those two groups of women
no,
with that rhetoric.
no, because the one thing that you leaving out about the Latina or the Latin community is they have a pretty sizable black population. And
Okay, okay,
when
but
guys
okay,
talk about
then what
Latinas,
then
they
what
usually
is
talking about the black ones.
okay? Then tell me this then. Why was there the conversation about black women and Latino women? Um what was the whole reasoning behind that?
Because they come from cultures that know how to cater to men better than ours does.
Really?
Yeah, because
Then
they're taught
therefore
that that's what's
then like
missing in our families.
that's missing
That,
in our families, right?
yeah,
Then Okay, so you're seeing the black family as in America as dysfunctional, right?
Yeah, we all families of all groups have dysfunctions. So yeah,
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 no,
we have dysfunctions.
you're saying, but yet you're saying that the black family as a whole is more dysfunctional than any other group. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying this is our specific dysfunctions.
Okay, better yet. Then what is our specific dysfunctions then?
Okay, you want to go self hate is one. Um, Putting down men is another.
Mm-hmm.
Leaning, how can I say this? Have you raising girls to believe in education and boys not to is another that creates a big problem. And
Okay.
fiscal responsibility.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you said that because how can you talk about the dysfunction between black men and black women and saying that Latino women or Latinas are have a better grasp on catering to men when Latino women is just as, if not more, as violent towards their own men, than a black women are. And me and you live, and I live in South Texas, so I see Latino women going after men. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why though you are trying to make this comparison when if you go to any community, especially in the Hispanic community, it's basically the same hardship and the same
Mm-hmm.
dysfunction is right there. The only difference is, it seems to me, is that y'all only admire the Hispanic community is because of the two parent household
No,
dynamic, and that seemed like that's probably the only
it's
reason why
not.
you.
It
Only
had
reason, go ahead.
admiration, man. I might be pushing it. I'll say that. What it is something very simple because it ain't just the Latino community that does this.
Yeah, but in the
So
confines of what Kevin Samuel said,
that's their number one competitor.
I'm only using Kevin Samuel's argument, what he
Right.
said 2 weeks ago. I'm only talking about that because it
Right.
seems to me if you're going to talk about using Latino women, if somebody who date Latino women like myself a few times, you're going to you're going to deal with the same old bullshit as we
Mm-hmm.
do with your own women, and
Right.
with our own women. So I
So
just see that argument as a very tragically flawed argument.
tragically flawed. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
here,
see the
so
tragedy flawed.
here's my question. So for a person who's dated Latinas, in a general sense, do they not teach their daughters how to cater to men? Because they're raising them to cater to Hispanic men in general, but they teach them how to cater to men. Period. Do they do
Yes,
that?
yes.
Okay. Let me expand this. Does this happen in the Asian community? Do they do that with their daughters?
Um, More or less, I assume yes, but I'm not. I don't.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
assuming
We'll
yes.
just take the
I don't know.
assumption. Okay, no problem. We'll take the assumption. What about in the white community? Do they do that with their daughters?
Depends on who.
Okay, depends on who.
Depends
Just
on the class aspect.
the class aspect. Okay,
Yeah,
so in a general sense, does our family do that with the daughters in our family?
yeah. Because the way I see every time I go to Thanksgiving, I see women trying to fix their own man a plate.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That catering extends outside of the family household. The catering I'm talking, they teach them catering and it goes outside the family household.
Such as.
Such as the same plates you talking about for Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
because that's where the bar is basically at. Holiday treatment. What I'm saying is They teach people to do this stuff not just on holidays, and they do this stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Now, in our community,
but
we're
why
not
would
getting that on a regular basis.
yeah, okay, but Ella, but why would anybody expect a strange woman, a woman who don't know you, don't know me, to cater to us when we don't even know, don't when there's certain dangers out in this world? Why would a woman cater to us when she don't know us?
Okay, so thus becomes the you know running in a circle. So there is no expectation for the guy to cater to the woman when he's dating her. Because when you meet somebody, you're a
Are we
stranger.
talking about dating? Because the way I'm still in the Kevin Samuels thing. I thought this was about dating, but yet
This
you
is
want to take it
that's what I'm talking.
outside. But
Exactly, dating.
but you want to take it outside of the household.
No, well,
Shit,
you date people outside the household.
huh?
You date people outside of your household.
Yeah, but
So you're
when you
groomed to
date
know
though,
how to.
these women will cater to you.
Right. So guess what? What
And
I'm
black
saying
women
is,
cater,
in
and black
our
women
community,
cater to their men.
no, they do not. That is
Compare.
not a general experience. Since you say you've been in the manosphere for watching for 15 years, has that been a general consensus for other men for 15 years? 1.0, 2.0, or 3.0?
That may not that may not be the general consensus of the manosphere, but as a black man who been around
I'm
black
talking about the
people,
black
I do
manosphere.
see, as a black man who see black people on a daily basis, I see black men beginning catered to.
Where?
And the black manosphere is a small space, so
Where do you see these people getting
you can't
catered to?
really just make the blanket statements.
Okay, but where do you see these people getting catered to? Outside of your family on Thanksgiving, where do you see these people getting catered to?
Class unions, where I work at, um, hot, malls. I see people being catered to. I
No,
see women,
no,
catering to men. So I really don't
no,
understand
no. I ain't asking about women.
why.
I'm asking about black women and black men.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. Black men, black women.
So here's an interesting thing. The first thing you said was class reunions. Class reunions happen every 5 years. That probably shouldn't have been the first thing you said, but but fine. The second thing you said was work. Um,
I see women bringing their husband lunches and all that.
okay. You see women
So
bringing
so
their
so so
husband
is
like
that
these. Whoa, 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 whoa. We were talking about dating, right?
no, but you want to what? So you still dating, or we still on the outside perspective of what I see? Oh,
No,
no,
no.
no, no, no. Like you was asking me about what I see. I'm just going to go by what I see.
Okay. So the people that you see are married, that are
Yeah,
catered
some of
to,
them are married. Some of them are married. Some of
right?
them are just shacking up. Some of them
Okay.
ain't married. They just living
So
together.
so the people that you see who are catering to their men are in relationships,
Yes, in some ways or another.
but aren't the bulk of us as a black community single?
Yes, the bulk of us are single. Yes,
And the bulk of us who are single do not get catered to.
by 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 our women, or
Yeah,
you talking about the dating aspect?
yeah.
I mean, how can you qualify that though? L.R. move. How can you qualify that when this is a small space and we only using anecdotal evidence, anecdotal arguments and anecdotal evidence?
Doesn't this space also use statistics?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Doesn't this space also
but
say
those
how
stats,
many
but those stats though is archaic though. Some of those stats are even archaic stats.
archaic or as in 2, 3, 4, 5 years old archaic?
Archaic, like 80% of single mothers are black women argument. That is a Lee Atwater argument. That argument been around since Ronald Reagan, when Lee Atwater was the campaign manager of Ronald Reagan in the 1976 GOP
And it wasn't 80% then.
primary.
It wasn't 80% then. It's been rising to high 70%. It started at like 30.
Though the narrative was there. The narrative
Okay.
was what I'm talking about was there.
Okay. But when you say the narrative was there, that was Lee Atwater and Ronald Reagan
And Bill Bennett and Dan Quayle.
and Bill Bennett. So how many people in that is black?
None.
Oh, okay.
But guess what? The talking points is still being continued in this space. See, I used to agree with that. I used to when I was part of this space, I used to say the same thing everybody else been saying until I actually look up Lee Atwater in the 1976 GOP primary and who Lee Atwater was, who Bill Ben and Patrick Buchanan, and I read
If I'm not
conservative
mistaken,
books.
all them guys are dead, or is one of
Oh,
them still alive?
half of them are dead. Half of them are dead.
Okay.
Some of them still
So,
alive.
so the ones that are the stats true?
Well, the stats, the narrative became true later on, but at the same time, though, it's no longer 80%
It
because
wasn't 80% then, though.
it was
I don't think it's
80% in the
80% now. I
70s,
think it's like
but it was
76,
80% during.
78.
No, it was 80% in the 1980s and 90s, but
No, it
that has
wasn't.
dropped off.
No, it wasn't 80% in the 80s and 90s. It started off at like 34, then it got to like 50, then it got to 60, then it got to 70, and now it's at 78. It didn't,
No, it's not. It's not 78. It's not 78 because here's my point.
what is it, 76?
How was it going to be 78 8 though when most people, most millennials and Zoomers are having less sex and also having less children. So like
Yeah.
the number is going to have to drop at some point. So it can't be 78 for long periods of time. It has to
Yeah,
drop
it can still
at a
be
point.
78. Because for the percentage of people who have kids, how many of those people are married? Or how many of those people are single parents?
If you look at the stat, it never tells you what was like the mother engaged. It
That
never really
don't
breaks down.
count.
It never breaks down. Those stats never breaks down if the mother was actually truly was single on her own or was she was engaged
Hold on. You bored
at
me
the
a little
time of
bit.
pregnancy.
You bored me a little bit. I know you said if she was engaged at the end. Try it again, Big J.
If she was engaged at the end of the pregnancy or
You
when the
still
child was
bored me. You
or
still
where she
bored
was
me.
divorced during the pregnancy. It never breaks down, those stats never break down who was actually who, and it does not also break down of did the mother actually marry the father of the child after the child arrived. And it never really breaks that down. So therefore, I gotta say, wait a minute, that's not really. It's just the talking point is solely on going at women rather than women as a whole, rather than picking apart which women are really actually the problem.
Well, almost married don't count, right?
Well, if you almost married, what you mean by almost married? If you was
I mean,
engaged,
engaged is almost married. That ain't married. That's still
yeah,
single.
but if she's engaged and got married, what's the problem? What's the problem
Then
if she
she
was
would be
engaged?
married.
So what?
If she's engaged and got married, then she's in the married category.
Yeah, okay,
If
yeah,
she's
but
engaged,
in the confine, but in the confines of the argument, we always talk about why is black men are in jail. We're going to talk blaming on single mothers, but if there's a black woman who's engaged to a black man or engaged to whoever, and she married the father of the child after the child arrived, then therefore that argument doesn't hold weight.
if they had
The
like a
argument itself
shotgun
doesn't
ready.
hold weight if she's
Okay,
already
so
engaged.
if she's already engaged, what about since you brought up Kevin, right? I'm sure you watched the show long enough to hear all the ladies who came on the show and said that they were engaged too, and the vast majority of them called it off.
Well, I don't. Well, Hey, that's just one show. So I don't know why.
No, that's
I don't
not
know why.
one
I don't know
show.
why women
No,
calling him
no.
up anyway.
Okay, that's not one show. That's a lot of shows that happen with a
Yeah,
lot of
but I
different
don't watch
ladies.
Kevin like that. I just watched
Okay,
that Pacific show because of what he said about Latino women and Black women. I
okay.
don't watch
Well,
Kevin
so for
like that.
your information, he that show's been blowing up for a year, right?
Hmm.
Um, He's had multiple conversations because every night it's a monologue. If you didn't know, it's a monologue, and then ladies will call in.
Right.
And the vast majority of the women who called in who said they were engaged, and they were engaged multiple times, and they called off multiple engagements.
And did any of these women said why they ended their engagement?
Do I got to go through like 100 different women
No, I
specifically?
mean, I mean, I mean, I mean, just pick five.
They were the ones. I'm gonna just give you the archetypes. They were ones who they felt they could do better. They were the ones who got cold feet. They were the ones who realized they wanted to be married, but they didn't want to be a wife, so they broke it off. And they were ones who, how can I say this? They didn't like the wife role.
They don't like the wife.
They would rather be the husband. So that dynamic was an issue.
Okay, they don't like the wife role. They want to be husbands.
They
So
would rather be.
is that what they say specifically, or that's how
No, that's just the
they came across to
archetypes.
you?
That was just for the type of people who would normally do that. You
Okay, so
know,
I would like to expound on that, but I can't really, in a fair analysis, I can't really
you
say
should go
what.
back and watch it.
Okay, okay,
You should go back and watch. Like that wasn't like just one show. There were tens of shows like that because he would do 3 shows a week. So there was a stretch for like 2 or 3 months where 2 of those shows a week would be like that.
uh,
You know, so that's part of the issue. Like even with the single mother thing, even as you say it, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're saying, but it doesn't cover for the fact that there were more women opting out of relationships than men.
okay, okay, fine, but yeah, but we men are up out of relationships too, though.
Yeah,
So
but not at the
so
same rate. It's not a 50-50. It's more like a 70-30.
a 70-30, or you
And I'm being generous from 70-30.
is there statistics on to
No, like, okay, you remember how people use the statistic of um, most divorces are filed by the wives?
yes.
So it basically fall in line with that same when it comes to breakups. Most of these breakups are initiated by women. And if you watch Kevin's show, even minus the engagement thing, most of the breakups these ladies had, they initiated them. And the the toxic rhetoric starts getting broken down, and it wasn't the norm is not it's a toxic relationship where he did this, that, and the third. It's just she didn't like something and she moved on. He didn't like something with her, he stayed. She didn't like something, she moved on.
Well, isn't that her right to leave? To leave? You
Yeah,
think that?
it is. It absolutely is her right to leave. But my point to you is, you might want to bring you skip that part of the equation out when we were talking about the single motherhood part. It's her right to leave. But when she leaves, she becomes a single mother. So she fits in that category.
Okay, 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 fine, fine though. So you're saying though a woman should just uh um be in that household with somebody she don't like. That might cause. Have you ever thought about that might cause problems in the future? that she had to force herself to stay there with somebody she doesn't like, or she
Let,
sees that there could be a problem with this
let,
individual.
let, let, I'm going to make a bigger point with this, if you don't
Okay, go
mind.
ahead.
This is one of the issues that the Black Manosphere has with people who are viewing the Black Manosphere from the outside. There's always this negative, imaginary, phantom argument where she might be going through something. He might be Macho Man Randy Savage and jumps off the couch and elbows her in the heart and pins her.
I never
It's
even
like,
said that.
listen, no,
I
I
never
know
said
you
that.
didn't say that specifically. I'm saying the argument is always grafted in a way that he's doing something to her, as if women don't do stuff to men.
Well,
When you're in a
of course,
relationship,
women do stuff to men. Of course,
so the
women
point,
do stuff to men.
the bigger point that I'm trying to make is the vast majority of these people who leave, and in most relationships, if you left for a stupid reason, most of those people want to go back. They just can't. That's the issue. If you paint these guys as bad guys, then all of a sudden, 6 months later, you wish you would have never left. A year later, you wish you never left. 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later, I should have stayed with such and such. The argument sounds good in the moment when you leave, but we go beyond that point and talk about what happens when you want to come back and it's too late. He's still a bad guy then. You still don't like him then.
Yeah, but why? Well, why would you? Why would you want a woman to stay with you if she doesn't like you? If she doesn't like you, you should at least sit there and say, okay, go. The door's open.
Because unfortunately, we can't trust people. I don't like you, because I don't like you might be temporary, because it winds up being temporary. I don't like you right now is how it works out. It's not that I don't like you for life. It's I don't like you right now. That's an issue of people who are immature making rash decisions and then they can't go back from them.
Then like
That's
then let that be their cross to bear. If they're
exactly.
making
So if it's there across the
Yeah,
bear,
yeah,
don't blame the men.
but at the same time, though, uh, men shouldn't complain about women who don't want us. I mean, I think that's also another problem. We want you see though that many people in this space want women that they can have.
I get what you're saying. I don't
Oh,
necessarily disagree with that. I think there are some guys in this space who just ain't got it like that, and they want people that don't want them. But I also believe that those people who don't want them wind up making such bad decisions in life that the guy that they didn't want starts to look hella good. And that's mighty disrespectful to double back in that scenario. And that would tick anybody off.
okay, and which kind of brings me to I ain't gonna say no names, but a certain individual who said um, black women put black men, paying child support when the person, um, with their hypocrisy, would 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 blame black women for child support as a collective, but then the person will blame the woman for not taking not taking the birth control pill when he himself does not wear protection himself. I
Mm-hmm.
have a problem with that, and that person's
Okay.
popular in this space.
Okay.
Um,
So so
in
what happens normally? What happens in general? Do men lie about taking birth control or do women lie about taking birth control?
well, men can't take birth control. Birth control is not available to
Okay.
men, so
Okay.
that would
Do
be the
men
first.
lie about putting condoms on more than, or do men take condoms off in the middle of the sex? more than women say they're on a shot or on a pill, but they don't take the shot and they're not on a pill, or they got this, that, and the
Oh,
third going on.
well, okay. If a woman if a woman does not take the pill, okay, yes, a woman could lie and not take the pill. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, well, how does the birth control pill affects women, um, health reasons? I mean, biological reasons. That I mean, it seems like people don't want to when it comes to
Well, because
childbirth control, huh? When it comes to
well, what
birth control, rather, nobody don't want to address the issues of the biological problems that the pill gives to the female anatomy, to the
because they
female
have like
body.
30 forms of birth control. They can figure out one that works for their body. And on top of
I
that, you
understand
have
that. I
no.
understand that though part though, but at the same time, this individual, I understand that women got 40 different types of birth control. I understand that. But why would a person still put his penis still what put in a better way, why would a person still have relations with this woman without himself being responsible with his own with himself?
I'm not going to
See,
disagree, but
okay,
that's the thing though.
if she's gonna be wrong, then he has to be wrong too. If
Yeah,
you out,
okay. So
if he was wearing, if he was you wearing protection and it happened to pop and she wasn't on birth control, I could understand that. But if he's having unprotected sex with a woman who lied, who did not supposedly not take the pill, well, who's at fault? You can't
the
just
person
say
who
it's her
lied,
fault. You got to say it's his fault too.
the person who lied.
Well, we don't know though. We only hearing his story.
No. I'm just saying by your hypothetical, the person that lied is at fault.
Yeah, the person who lied is at fault. Yes, but
See,
at the same time, yeah, but at the
here's the
same time,
thing.
he had no business trying to have sex with this woman,
Let me
without no protection.
I'm gonna make this different. This
Okay,
is
go ahead.
two true stories. So, woman has sex with a man. He's wearing a condom. He takes off the condom. He's HIV positive. She didn't know he took off the condom. So she wound up being HIV positive. Is she at fault for that?
Well, if she didn't know, she didn't know. I mean,
Okay, let's do it. Let's do this another way. A young man was dating a older woman, right? She told him, she couldn't have kids. She wasn't trying to have kids. So as far as that particular thing, she was not getting pregnant, and she likes having sex a certain way because she's older than him, which is unprotected, and she wants to be with one particular person. You know what she didn't tell him? That
what?
she was HIV positive. Is he at fault or her?
Well, both the man and the woman both the man, those who have the HIV are at fault. Both of them who have the HIV is at fault.
So they're at fault because they
No, they
omit
knew.
information.
Yes. They
Right.
didn't give the
So
information
that's the
to
point that I'm trying to make. Like if the person who omits information is the person at fault.
right. But when it comes to the person about the birth control pill, he had unprotected sex with this woman in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, but he
Then
again unprotected sex. Now, if you supposed to be that person supposed to be responsible with him. If he doesn't want to pay child support and don't want no child, therefore, though, why sit there and have sex, unprotected sex with a woman that possibly lied and omit information that she was off the birth control meds or whatever the case may be.
so you understand the concept when it's talking about HIV.
Yes, I understand the
But
concept of HIV.
then when omission comes as far as birth control, it's still his fault too.
Because he was having
It's still sex
unprotected.
though.
He was not wearing a condom though.
Yeah, neither were the two other couples who I just said wind up contracting HIV from a person who omitted their status and wound up having unprotected sex.
No, but the problem is the first story you said about the HIV. Homeboy took the condom off in the middle of
Right,
sex. So
right.
therefore, though, homegirl, it's not her fault because homegirl sit there and was under the illusion. Okay, we having it safe.
So
And on your second story, homeboy was he thought it was safe because this is older woman, it's going to be safe, and it's just we just have
as far as
an
birth
exclusive
control,
exclusive relationship between the older man and that younger man. Therefore, he was under the illusion it was since I'm in an exclusive relationship with this woman, we safe. So like your two HIV stories is mute compared to this to homeboy who is a content creator on his YouTube channel on his space, and y'all might know who I'm referring to, who have unprotected sex with a woman who supposedly lied about being on not child support, being on birth control.
this is my issue with this whole scenario. You know what? And this is where the Black Manosphere has an issue with, especially black men and black women about what goes on in the Black Manosphere. It's okay to lie if you're a woman. It's okay to deceive if you're a woman. It's okay to omit if you're a woman. Because you
Wait a
know
minute,
what? At the end of the day, the
where
man
I
is
said
supposed to
that
be
at, L.R.
Doctor
Boogie?
Strange and do the eye of origami and go back in time and change it. Because hey, it's no big deal.
Where I said this okay for a woman to lie? Where I said that at?
If it's still his fault for getting lied to, then it's okay to
We
lie to
don't
him.
know, but like I said earlier, we don't know her side of the story. We only hear what he's saying.
Okay,
Not
fine.
here's the thing.
Okay.
We only hear what he's saying. We don't know though what homegirl said. So we
That
only
you,
so by this person's perspective, we only hearing his side. I would like to know what's her
that's
side is.
that's a valid
Neither one
that is
saying it.
that's a valid point, Big J. The only problem with that point is it gets hypocritical when you're dealing in a space where when a woman's saying a man did something, we don't say she could be lying. It's only her side of the story. It could be true. If she say a black man did something, it's taken as he did something. And when we question, did he actually do something? What is wrong with you? How could you be like that? You're bashing women. You should quote unquote believe all women. So this idea of ethics and morality, it doesn't apply. Ethics are not in morality aren't gender based. You don't get to have subjective concrete ethics and morals on one end and subjective morals and ethics on another. That's not how it works. And that's what brothers have an issue with in this space. Because like
Yeah,
I just said, when you
if we
switch
if
the
we if
argument,
we
it's
going to
okay.
talk about ethics, if we're going to talk about ethics and morality here, then the same person who claims who's blaming his baby mama for putting on child support when he had unprotected sex with a woman, he's the same person who drove 16 hours to see another YouTuber or trying to take up for some woman across the pond.
Okay.
And while being married to
No,
another
no, no,
woman.
no,
I
no.
mean,
Since,
I mean,
since we're
come
gonna
on.
go there, so
I'm not gonna go there, but
no, no, no,
the
you
thing is
did.
though,
I mean, but
there
since we're
is
gonna go there
a
and use
pattern.
YouTubers, because this is what this is about. This is about the YouTube space. Is that that gets more vitriol than saying abort black boys.
Oh, really, really? Okay, let's abort black male boys when it's impossible, when it's legally and
I'm just
ethically
saying.
impossible to abort black male babies here in the United
No,
States or
it ain't.
Canada based upon gender or race.
No, it ain't.
No, it's impossible to do that.
No, it's not impossible.
And yes, though I do dislike that certain individual,
No, no,
whoever
no. I'm
said
just.
that.
I'm no. I get that, but what I'm saying is, what you're talking about gets more vitriol than that.
Well, I was because when Brooklyn Blue said that back in 2017, where was the vitriol then? But now all of a
The
sudden I'm saying
guy, the brothers in the Black Manosphere had vitriol for that because that wasn't what I just said with with Cynthia. That wasn't the first time we heard that.
I
As
know
as a
though I
ma-
know
as
though
a, as a,
that's not the
as
first
a
time
matter
that
of
was
fact,
uttered.
as
I
a
know that's
matter
not
of
the
fact,
first time it's uttered.
exactly. So
But
as
the problem is, but the problem is though, how can people in this space say what they said about, oh, let's abort black male babies when that's been uttered by another woman years ago when she made it famous.
right, and nobody got
And, no, and
canceled.
nobody in
Nobody
the
is
space said
getting
anything
kicked
about
off of
the woman who
YouTube.
first said it.
Nobody is getting made fun of. Nobody is no black community or even black women or black men are like, hey, that's a little too far. Nobody is saying they getting a lot of views for saying that. They getting a lot of likes for saying that. There's a lot of people commenting saying that and they happen to be black. Like, that space, that's not that space is in a black womansphere technically, right? But you don't see people like, hey, we're not rocking with it. You people are out of your mind. You don't see the same type of, I need to come at that space like you do this.
I've already came at this space. The problem is though, y'all making it worse though. But with y'all hypocrisy in this space.
Okay,
Step in the foot, step in the blood of black women. Remember
okay,
that?
so
Remember that L.R. movement?
oh that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Remember. Remember.
That was crazy.
Remember. Remember
But
the videos of homeboy showing African women getting beheaded. Or what about
I
the
remember
video
that.
of homegirl? Homegirl was
Whoa, 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 whoa,
bleeding
whoa,
to death on a street trolley
whoa, whoa,
in the middle.
whoa,
I want to say
whoa,
what's that in Chicago or what's that
yeah.
San Francisco? It was an American big city. I forgot what city it
Is that
was.
was that the one that got into a fight with the guy? The beheading in Africa, that's an Africa thing. That ain't a Black Manosphere thing.
Well, I mean, the person who's making the video about it and laughing at it, that person is part of this space, though.
Got you.
So I mean, like the hypocrisy is at an all-time high
No,
for us.
no.
I'm concerned
Ironically,
if you worry about a statement when versus showing a
no,
video of people being beheaded,
no.
murdered, and
I'm not.
what may have you.
No. I'm not worried about a statement. I get what you're saying. I'm gonna ask a question. What I said was recent. What you're talking about was how many years ago?
Well, about 4 or 5 months ago, I see old boy
No, no,
go
no,
on
no,
that other website posting it.
no. 4 or 5 months ago, he went on a website posting what?
Yeah, like we all know we already know what
The
that other
beheading?
website is, huh?
The beheading.
No, one was that beheading. The other one was the
That was 4 or 5 months ago.
homeboy that shot up all the women that in that apartment building complex and playing with the bodies.
That story was years ago.
That story was fairly recent. I want to say a
You
year at
talking
least.
wait, because also you're not talking about Jennifer Hudson family.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm
Okay,
talking
you
about
talking
I'm
about the
talking about
rapper
I'm
that
talking
just
about a
think
woman.
the
I'm talking
rapper?
about a woman who got killed on that. I think that was what a subway train or something or a trolley, a street car, something like that. And then showing her body in her last moment's life, being bled out
Nah, I
and
don't know about that
convulsing.
one. I don't know about that one.
Okay.
You know, nah, I do not know about that one at all. Because I'm thinking about two different things. I
Yeah. Well.
remember the blood thing because that was years ago, and I'm pretty sure the beheading thing had to be years ago too.
Yeah, but
Because
understand though, the same people who are quote unquote advocating for black male babies to be aborted are the same ones who saw those videos. They're just responding to it now.
bull,
No, I ain't bull. Because
bull.
have you talked to those people? Have you actually talked to those individuals
No,
over there on the
I've
other
been on
side?
panels with one of them. You do know that. Oh, you don't know that?
No, I don't. I may not know.
Yeah, that was a while ago, and it was after the blood comment was made. So the Brooklyn thing, mm-mm, uh-uh. Brooklyn was doing that before even that. Brooklyn was saying that before even those comments.
Yeah, because Brooklyn said that 2015, 2016, 2017.
So
I remember when she was saying
that
all that.
so that wasn't in response to something he said. That was
Yeah, but
that same argument was
understand that the new crop of women who just appeared on the scene recently, they only responded what the men are saying.
no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Okay, okay. Whatever you say. I mean,
Okay, when you say new
I'm the one
crop,
having the conversation with them. Okay, go
okay,
ahead.
when you say new crop,
And when
so
I
what you
say
tell me?
new, and when I say new crop, I'm talking about the past, at least the past 3-4 years. I say that's the new crop
Okay.
because based on our longevity here. I say they are the new crop.
See, this is where the one thing I can say about the new crop, they ain't make a hit list.
No, they haven't.
So because the people you talking about made a hit list on multiple occasions.
Yeah. I remember the two list, the two hit list. I was on one of them. Because that girl out of Houston, we know who we talking about. She put me on that list and O'Shea on that list. A whole lot of men on that list. And that video of that list is still up. The last time I checked, about 2 months ago, that list is still up.
See, my issue with this stuff is, for me, I do get tit for tat. I get that. I'm not gonna play stupid to that. Some people are going tit for tat. But the issue that about that bothers me the most is the frequency of what the Black Manosphere is talking about happening, and with these Black women and the guys who hate the Black Manosphere, the frequency is nowhere in the same ballpark. When guys are talking about the things that happen to men and that happen to little boys and that happen in our community, it's story after story after story after story after story after story. We ain't look if and I don't even do current events on a regular basis. But if I wanted to stop making 3 videos a day and just do current events, I could very easily because the stories don't stop. But when it comes to when Black men do something, those stories don't have near the same frequency. Thus, what I'm saying to you is, even with the people you're talking about, when you reference even us being out of pocket, you got to go back. You know what I'm saying? I can go last week. You got to go 4 or 5 years ago, 4 or 5 months ago. You can't you can't go look. I can say this person said this person said that, this person did this person did that, this person posted this person posted that. I could do that with frequency. And my question is, even with that, with saying that, do you think I'm lying when I say that?
I think though you're not accurate with your information though because the thing is, um, the people that I'm talking about, they still get support.
Yeah.
You know, support without question. So if I'm supporting a person who pimped out a 14-year-old girl and hiding in Canada, I mean, and the person's still hiding in Canada, I mean, I gotta say, well, I mean, it's still relevant, even though the person who done it is 4 or 5 years ago. The person is still here. The person is still being respected in this space. You got another person who raped excuse me, who is convicted of a heinous act against a 12-year-old girl. That person is still known to be a quote unquote a godfather, not godfather, but one of the more well known in this Manosphere,
Well,
SYSBM, Red Pill
now,
Space.
what was very interesting about this, I don't think I know the first person, but I think I know who you're referencing. The second person I know for sure, and if you've been in this space long enough, which you say you have, don't guys in this space get at him about that? Do
Yeah,
guys in
yeah,
this space?
though,
So
yeah, yeah, no,
so
but,
so to act like,
but I was there. Listen, we was always there when all of us addressed that person. But having said that, though, L.R. movement, that person, the new niggas who came online, and they knew homeboys' issues. They still supported him regardless of what happened. They brought the red carpet treatment for him last year,
whoa,
December of last
whoa.
year. I mean, December of
If I'm not
2020.
mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, and this is another thing. So I know who you're talking about that. I know you're talking about with the blood on the street thing. How many people in this space?
Uh, you mean content creators, or are you talking
Mhm.
about
Yeah,
everybody and
content
all?
creators. Content creators.
I mean, I want to say like 50, 60 of us
50, 60.
at least.
So how many of us really have that, that detrimental type of stuff on our jackets?
Well, I only judging by some of the rhetoric. I mean,
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
quantify
Forget
that.
the rhetoric. How many of us have this these type of things on our jacket? Out of the 50, 60.
That number, I don't know. Probably 10.
So probably 10. Could you
Probably.
name the 10?
I'm using probably 10 because some people don't
Could you
recall.
name 10?
I can only name four,
You can only name four, but you just okay,
four or five.
okay. So that would be, if it's
Those
50,
two.
60 people, it'll be 10% of the space.
Yeah, but I judge the tree by the fruit. I judge the tree by the fruit it produces. If
Do
your
you?
fan base if your fan base is still run out the red carpet treatment, and
Okay.
there are commenters that still support these individuals, and they on certain people's panels all the time being
Hmm.
supported. Therefore, I have to say, I mean, some people are going to have to be guilty of that, of
Yeah,
having
okay.
that people around them.
That's fine. But what about the other 90% of the fruit that the tree bears?
Well, listen.
Because and since you're in Texas, you should know this about farming. You do get bad fruits and vegetables you gotta toss, right?
Right.
So don't nobody keep bad fruits and vegetables, right?
Yeah, but
You
that
pay
person,
attention
yeah,
to the
yeah,
not
but
to
they still around in this
yeah,
space.
yeah, fine that they're around. I get it. You can't we can't you this argument becomes crazy to me because you think we can chase down everybody's subscribers?
No, but the problem is not
Okay.
being a the problem is not being you cannot expect to clean up somebody else's house when your house is just a dirty.
Oh, so since if that's the case, bro, then there should be no qualms at all with this space because everybody who has an issue with this space has a dirty house.
Not like that, no. Not with those 4 or 5 individuals, no.
They don't.
Some
They
houses are
don't.
dirtier than others.
They don't.
Some people
So the
have
people
blood.
who troll this space don't have closets like that.
They might have closets, but has somebody ever done something to a little girl? I mean that's something
Oh,
that
okay. If that's the only thing we're going by, I don't think other people have done stuff to a little girl. But I'm pretty sure assault, shootings, fraud, um, what do you call that? You know, the way people dox people.
hmm
Putting people's family out
hmm
to make them a target.
Right, right.
But that don't count.
Yeah,
That's not
it
on those
does
people's
count. It
jacket.
count. It count. If you're talking about that one particular person,
It ain't
I
just
agree
one
with you on that
person.
one. I agree with
It
you on
ain't
that one.
just one. See, this is the thing. It ain't just one person. Now, to be fair, if we talking about the same one person, I had to reach out to the people some of the females that we were talking about earlier. and had to let them know that, yo, he wilding over there. He putting your name in it too. So protect yourself. See, the issue is if that person would have just did that to us, wouldn't have been a problem. We deserve it. We deserve it.
Well, L.R.
But
movement. If you're gonna say that, you're gonna make that argument, then tell me then what happened to Chrissy back in 2016, 2017 then.
it was silly. It was stupid. And
Then
if I'm not mistaken,
then why okay, if it was
mhm,
wrong for that it was wrong
I
for a
don't even think he got
homeboy,
the right person.
huh?
Be perfectly honest, I don't even think he got the right person. Because
N-
because
Uh,
if you want to go there, which I understand, I thought it was excessive. I thought it was excessive. And at the time, behind the scenes, me and her would chat from time to time.
uh,
Even at the before she even started her magazine, me and her would chat from time to time about how her magazine would go, and that she should do it, and that it's a good idea.
mm,
So guess what? As you would say, it was a person in the space overly excessive about going at it. It was a person in the space overly excessive about making sure it gets done because it was a good idea. But you didn't hear me saying that publicly. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the brainchild behind. I'm not this, that, and the third. But if you ever talk to her, she'll tell you. I told her some of the things I thought that she could do, some of the things that would happen, and some of the things that she might have to prepare for in a positive and a negative way. We used to have long little conversations. So that's a
and that was one of the beginning on why I shun away from the manosphere.
but
With
you
that what happened to Chrissy.
okay.
And that
But
was
did
one
you shun away from
that was one of the first. Well, no, it was like one of the first things that really tell me I shouldn't be
okay? And,
associated.
and I don't have any problem with that rubbing you the wrong way. Do you still associate with her though?
With who?
Chrissy.
No, I don't. I never have.
You never associated with her?
No, never have.
So you have mm,
I have no reason to associate with her. I just I just saw what was going on. I didn't like that. I didn't like what I saw and what
it's
was done.
weird, and I'm gonna tell you what's weird about this. Cats come to the defense of people that they don't know, and come to assault people, not assault, but come to fight people that they don't know also. And the problem is, you might you might come to the defense of some people for the right reason, and that's just justifiable, understandable, no deal, no problem with that. But cats that do some of the things that you do, Big J, they come at people unnecessarily that have nothing to do with stuff also, and more so those people than anybody else.
Meaning,
So then,
meaning, because you just
meaning,
like you try and apply something. What is it?
I'm
What are you
not
trying to apply?
implying. I'm saying, okay. I'm saying flat out. I'll say it this way: cats, men and women think they got morals for attacking the black manosphere when all they do is attack the wrong people. They don't really attack the people they got a problem with. They attack the people who are the most popular at the time. They don't attack the issues they have a problem with. They attack the fact that people agree with these issues. So they attack those people. That's a problem. Because on the flip side, if that's the case, and this is one of my biggest issues with people who don't like the black manosphere, they don't make content. Their only content is having issue with the black manosphere. That's what they're known for. Their content is always rebuttals, contrarian content. They don't everything you want the black manosphere to do and be. The, everybody who doesn't like the black manosphere, they don't do or be any of those things. They're as much as we're supposed to be hypocrites, they're double that. Because if that's their idea and that's their lane, they never go down it. They never do that. They just say, "Oh, black manosphere made something. I'm gonna make something to say. Y'all stupid, y'all ignorant, y'all dumb, y'all need to stop. Y'all ain't doing enough." So if we turn around and say, well, what are you doing? What is your political agenda? What is your where are you working together
Well,
with people?
the last
Where
time,
are you coming together?
the last time though there was a political agenda. Uh, two of those heavy hitters came on my channel and was trying to destroy my channel behind that.
Oh
So
yeah,
if you're applying, you're saying I'm against a black Manosphere, which is true, I am. But soon, but other people who were making content outside of Black Manosphere, they was attacked by those, by two of those
how can you
individuals.
be okay, Big J?
The
How can
one
you
the
be
one that has the go ahead.
how can you be attacked by somebody you attacking? You get what I'm saying? Like that, and I'm not just saying this to you directly. I'm just saying this for all the people who have an issue with the space. That's the problem. You attack the Black Manosphere space, and then when you get attacked, we attacked you. That don't make sense.
Yeah, but you just sit there and said though the people who are against the Black Manosphere don't make content. Well, Jason Black makes content.
Who?
Jason Black, and he's a critic of the Manosphere.
Why? No, he's not. He's not a critic. He wants to take credit for it. He don't like Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels got more subscribers and is bigger than him. He don't bring that every time he brings up the Black Manosphere, he it's Kitten Samuels, Kitten Samuels, Kitten Samuels, Kitten Samuels. I'm the one that really did it. Hey, he didn't do it. I'm the one that brought this, and I'm the one that said this. Did Kevin ever do that to Jason?
I don't know.
No.
I'm only going
No.
by I'm only going by Jason Black's.
Okay, if you go,
And I'm no fan of Jason Black, by the way. I'm no fan of him.
but
No,
that's
no fan of that.
this is
But
the
the point
problem,
is,
bro.
he's going after the Black Manosphere. I'm just using that as an example because he's going after the Black Manosphere. Is the Black Manosphere
Yeah.
name is in his mouth all recently.
Right. Why would that be? What is he saying about it? That they're not giving we're not giving them real game. He got the real game. Come to him. Don't come to us. Pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Because he originated what we're saying. So basically he's saying the same thing we're saying, but since he says he said it, he doesn't have a problem with him saying it, he has a problem with us saying it.
Well, okay. When he said does he when he said he's a problem, he had a problem that y'all saying, but he's saying the same thing. Isn't the problem on how y'all approach the issue, or
No,
or is it just a fact of per personality?
no. Because if you remember where Jason Black first came about, it was with Tommy Sotomayor.
Yeah, I actually remember. I remember when Tommy Sotomayor. What was that? What was that? That fine ass that fine ass Cuban woman.
No. Forget all that. Jason Black used to be a co-host with Tommy
Yeah,
Sotomayor.
yeah, I
And
remember
then they
that.
had a falling out.
Yeah.
So do you notice? Even after all of that, they had a falling out. They went at each other a little bit. Now, you notice nobody from the Black Manosphere was taking shots at Jason Black. Is he taking shots at Tommy still?
No, as far as I don't watch Tommy
Right,
like
he
that.
doesn't. He doesn't.
Uh-huh.
Why would that be? Because him and Tommy can go at it all day and all night, back to back to back to back to
Yeah,
back to back to back.
because Tommy is in decline.
No, he's not.
Well, are you sure about that? Because I mean, the man sure that's where getting on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing all that
If he's in
crazy.
decline, if he's in decline, he ain't falling too far because he a hella high up.
Well, I'm not saying though he's down at the dumps. I'm just saying he's not as let's say
Just
spoken of
right.
recently. He's not as spoken when
Okay.
everybody talk about black YouTube. Nobody said Tommy. People say Kevin Samuels
Right.
or somebody else. Not Tom. That's why I said
Right.
decline.
There are new people to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
But he's already he has his own lane sold up, period.
So like that's
Hey, no,
that's why I said maybe it's the wrong choice of words of saying decline, but but he's not the focal point as he used to be.
that happens.
Yeah, right.
That happens. Like he's not the focal point, but he ain't falling off. I can say go to his chats. He ain't missing people. His views ain't missing people. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, and no disrespect to what I'm about to say to this brother, but when you say falling off, okay, Tommy Sotomayor compared to Derek Jackson last year, who falling off?
Derek Jackson did.
Yeah, but they had the same around the same amount of people following. So he ain't that. You get what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. That's just my opinion on it.
Right. Right.
But as far as Jason, Jason's not offering a counter argument. Jason is just saying, "Yo, I'm saying this, and they saying this. And get it from me first." And now, here's the thing: using that as a reference, and here's the issue, even with a lot of the people who are detractors of the space. A lot of people skip over the fact that you have a lot of content creators who don't like the Black Manosphere, who we don't know who they are and what they look like, and B, they won't even come in a space to talk to somebody. They spend their time talking about us, but will never be in the same room as us, even on a chat. So for a lot of us don't take it as seriously as you think, because it's like, man, these people are just trolls. They get up in the morning, they watch the video, it's hate porn. They watch it, they hate it, they comment, they're trauma bonding by hating us, as you would say, like we trauma bonded earlier.
Okay, but I think though I see your point, but however, the last time I saw something like that when somebody was going against the Manosphere and got into those, I remember the Coliseums on BJ's Igmore's channel. All those people got ganged up upon.
It was the Coliseum. That was the name
you
of
say
it.
something to BJ's, 5 other niggas come out the woodwork and start to assault you, and that's why people don't come to Manosphere. That's why they'd rather make videos about y'all rather than go up there and challenging y'all, or do what I'm doing to you right now, because they're afraid that 4 or 5 other people will come after the who have a problem. And it has happened in the past.
You doggone right that happened in the past, because it was the Coliseum. The Coliseum was a free fall.
But guess what? Guess what? The Coliseum continued. It didn't just stay on BJ's Igmore. It followed to my channel. Because I remember at the fight, Anger Man and Cerulean Gray and all them niggas on my channel for past 4 or 5 months. I remember that. It happened in 2018. No, 2017, 2018.
I'm not gonna say that stuff didn't happen. I'm not about to be selective and go, I don't know. Like, if I don't know something, I don't know it. But my thing is about this, and excuse me for saying this way. If you come to a space and you want problems and they give you problems, what's the problem?
But the problem is, if you disagree, 5 people come after you, and you haven't said anything hostile to them yet.
Well, it's one thing if you say you haven't, and I'm not going to say this about you in particular. People have this tendency, you make multiple videos talking about somebody, and then when you wind up talking to them, they go off on you. Your ass deserve it. Because if they wasn't talking about you specifically, and you've been talking about them specifically, and then when they get a chance to talk to you directly and they get at you, you get what you should have thought about that before you kept coming at them. Because for me, just watching this whole space in general, and this is an issue. People have selective memory about, hey, you making content about people, you making commentary about people. The same way you said, old man was overboard, with the Chrissy thing. Why don't you see that same aspect with the people who don't like the Black Manosphere when they're overboard?
Because based on how the fans of the Manosphere go after people who said one little thing of this disagreement.
Some,
Some people on here act like pack of wolves. You say something disagreeable that homeboy don't like, five, six, seven, eight niggas be coming after you. You know,
so
I remember the one time I said something about old man, and then all of a sudden I see Anger Man, and I see this nigga over here, and I see Mr. Fantastic, and I see all these niggas surrounding me. I'm like, what the? I only said one goddamn thing. Y'all should have kept the shit moving. Y'all still mad over that? I mean, I see this. It seems like everybody who makes a disagreement towards the Manosphere or talking point is always some gang of their fans or their trolls coming to your channel or their live streams harassing them. So why bother going on a platform with the people that you have a disagreement with?
but those same people will tell you to come up by your damn self too. See, that's the thing. Those, even with BGS, don't he have a habit of saying, look, you come up specifically. See, everybody that you talking about, even Angry Man, even Obsidian, even Fantastic, they'll go on their channel and talk to you directly and specifically. You know what happens when that happens? I don't want no problems. It's all good. I'm just moving on. So, as you would say, getting jumped on could be let's just say
About 701.
conversational cowardly act. It's just as cowardly to say, okay, meet me on my channel and show up, and it's gonna be me and you. And then people go, I don't know what you're talking about. I just don't want to be there. I don't want that problem. Well, hell, if you want to show up when it's 5, 6, 7 people, but you won't show up when it's one person, but you'll make videos about one person over and over and over again, seem like you just want to have control of when you get to diss somebody.
Well, isn't the same thing about the Coliseum though? It's the same thing. I say, hey man, BJS, I disagree with you on this. Big J, and then you hear Anger Man coming after me and shit. I'm like, dude, what's this shit about? You see what I'm saying? It's the same shit. If I'm trying to address just one particular argument, one person saying, then you got 4 or 5 niggas coming after you. I see that as a punk move.
Okay,
it should be a one-on-one at this point.
And this is why I said when people say let's have a one-on-one, motherfuckers don't show up. They don't want that one-on-one. People have written done video after video, done blog after blog, done post after post, done article after article, hit list after hit list. But how many of those people show up one-on-one and talk to somebody?
Probably seldomly.
But that's not a big deal. See, if you're going to have an issue with the space and you do all of it, if you do dirt, you get dirt. What's the problem? This the Black Manosphere, not the Black Forgivosphere. The Black you could do it, but I can't sphere. The Black you be petty and you go low and we go high sphere. That ain't this. That is not this. And that's why the guys in the space have this issue, because last time, I checked, I feel like Nipsey Hussle by saying, last time I checked, if you want to take shots, don't be a victim when brothers shoot back. And this is why it's the Black Manosphere, because people are accustomed to shooting at black men and it's saying, don't shoot back. And this is the issue even in the black community. Black people in the black community, when it comes to black men, turn white. That's what happens. Let me get mine off at you, and you getting at me? No, officer, I'm a victim. I don't know what happened. He was a tall, big black man with a bald head and a Cadillac Escalade with 24-inch spinning rims, and I don't speak no English, and I don't know what happened. I did nothing wrong. But all of a sudden, people forget that part. Even when people in this space go overboard, you know what people forget? When people went left with them. Because in normal terms, and it's a normal thing with people in general, you don't get to control somebody's response. And this is a problem. People want to be in this space, comment on this space, disrespect this space, but also control this space's response.
Then by that logic, then well, no, what I ain't gonna talk about the logic. So shouldn't that be implied to old man on the Chrissy? Because what he responded to her was off the wall. That it was unnecessary to do that.
You remember? I'm not. He had the same issue with Sophia, right? He had the same issue with even Derek Jackson, right?
Mm.
He had the same issue with what's the other lady, the big lady.
I'm trying to remember her name.
You know,
Feminisa Jones.
there you go. Now I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't think Chrissy went at him crazy, if I'm not mistaken. I think she got at him though, but I didn't take it as crazy or out of pocket. I mean, but he did, you know. But so even with that, 3 out of 4 of those people did come at him sideways, and then he didn't let it go. And since you living in Texas, do you remember? So do you remember Sophia Nelson getting on the radio station? She got on 102.1 talking about it's men call the black manosphere and they're bashing women and we need to shut them down. They don't get treated.
I kind of vaguely remember her going on radio.
Oh,
I kind
oh,
of vaguely remember her going on radio.
so she wasn't trying to shut down Obsidian. She was trying to shut down who?
Well, everybody. And when I had the conversation with her, see, I had a conversation with her, and um, well, if you're looking at the not just him, but yet you see other men coming from her from homeboy's channel, going to her channel, saying all types of shit, then therefore I somewhat sympathize why she want to make the entire space a target and not just him when people who was on his comment board are going to her channel because
Mm-hmm.
he and that always happens.
Was
There's
it
always somebody from somebody's comment section going to that person's comment section to
right?
start shit.
And I get that, but if
Hmm.
I'm not mistaken, wasn't she implicated in one of those hit lists?
No, she
And
wasn't. No,
yeah, she
no,
was.
no, no, she wasn't.
Yes, the hell she was.
No. The hit list started. The hit list actually was written in October or
No,
November
no,
of
it was more than
26,
one hit
16.
list.
No,
It was
no, no,
more than
no, no,
one.
no. I'm talking about the hit. I'm talking about the big hit list. I ain't talking about the hit list. It is a door storm wrote. I'm talking about the hit list that Sandman, Angerman, Tommy, the Veganator
Mm-mm,
was all up on that
mm-mm.
list.
That was like the third or fourth one.
I'm
Because the
talking. I'm,
initial
I'm talking
were
about
all black men.
no
The
the
Vegator came
Simone
after
5 6.
Crystal and
You talking
Karen.
about the list Simone 5 6 put out?
You see what I'm
You
saying?
talking about
Like,
that one?
matter of fact, it might have been the Veganator one because after that one, that was the one that her and Crystal and Karen started teaming up and becoming teams, and they was dissing black men all the time as a unified front, and then they had a falling out.
No. She wasn't there yet. She wasn't.
She
She
wasn't
was
there
there.
yet.
No,
Okay,
she came in like 2 months after because that was like around like this December
but
of
so but, okay,
2016. The
no problem.
Vegator issue happened in October 2016. And Sophie Nelson came on board. Uh, I want to say December or January.
Now, my issue keeps growing and growing because see that type of behavior is still like I get what you're saying. My issue is, and I'm not asking you to be a hypocrite. I'm just asking you to see that, our actions that were years ago are unforgivable. A couple of us did something, so all 50 and 60 of us are guilty. But just keep that same energy for your group, the men and the women.
But I'm not
That's
part of
all
no
I'm
group.
asking.
I'm not part of no group. That's the point.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Oh, I am. But who are my teammates then?
You're part of the anti-black manosphere group.
Yeah, though, but we're not.
How you gonna say yeah, and then just act like you see you did a Rick
there
James
is
just
there is
now.
no coordination. What you talking about? There's no coordination between us.
It don't have to
The,
be a coordination.
the only person I want to talk to, I talk to Aaron Fountain. I might talk to Art Panaka, but but other than that, I really don't coordinated videos or coordinated talking points or
You act like
you know.
we coordinate videos with people. Like you act like, you know what, I'm gonna get them at 12 o'clock, you get them at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow we're gonna double back. Like we don't do that shit.
No, yes, y'all do the Coliseum.
Bro,
All these panels with Angerman is
bro,
on BJ's
stop,
channel. BJ's be on
stop.
Angerman's channel, and
How
Old
long ago
Man
did
will
the
be
Coliseum
on
stop?
this person's channel or be
How
Bernard
long did
Riley's channel. That is
how
that's
long
a
ago was
coordination,
the Coliseum?
huh?
How long ago was the Coliseum and what happened the day before the Coliseum?
Man, I don't. I don't think I remember the Coliseum was when all of us was on there and we was beefing. That's on.
This is
That's
a
on.
problem.
Huh?
This is a problem, BJ. This is a big problem because this is an issue, and it's not a you issue, but this is an issue with people who don't like this space. Y'all only there for the drama y'all remember, but y'all don't remember everything that it pertains to. The Coliseum was on Saturday. Friday night it was women's panel. And the reason why
Yeah. And the
when I
sad
asked
thing.
you what was the day before, you said you ain't know.
Okay, now I remember because homeboy kept on talking about the that really okay that really started my problem with old boy was about the um was about his problems with the millennials. And since I was deemed a millennial, I didn't like how he talked about millennials. And that really, that was part of the conversation. And then we were talking about, how black men was not educated based on the. I'm trying to remember something happened in the early 20th century report. I forgot what it was. It was long time
So
ago.
you shouldn't still
That
be upset about it.
actually started the beef between me and him.
But he didn't moved on from that beef.
Huh?
He moved on from that. What you didn't like what he said. Was he talking to you directly?
Well, I don't like how was he talking to me directly? Yeah, I mean,
No, he wasn't.
some of the time he was,
No. When he
some
was
of the
talking
points he
about
would make it
millennials,
was.
he didn't bring up your name when he was talking about millennials. He talked about millennials. You had an issue with what he said about millennials, and then you had a problem with him because of that. He wasn't talking about you. He was talking about a group in general. And the problem that we have in this space is, guess what? Black men get talked about in a group in general. So now all of a sudden, when other groups get talked about, we gotta, bring
Yeah,
baby
okay,
rights.
but talk to a person as if though that person's dumb and ignorant. Come on.
We get talked to, bro. You're a black man. Stop playing like we don't get talked to as we've been talked to like we're dumb in general. All we're doing is being the exact same thing that the world has been to us, and not everybody got an issue. If you
Oh,
didn't like it, you shouldn't have done it.
so wait a minute. Wait a minute. So now though, what you just said though, we should treat each other as the world treat us. Is that what you're implying though? L.R. movement.
We should treat each other as if the world treats us.
Yeah, based on what you said.
You teach people how to treat you, right?
Yeah, I think those
So
people
if, so
should
if
be
a
treated
person is
as they've been
disrespectful,
treated.
you got to teach them to stop being disrespectful by you standing up for yourself. Am I correct?
Right though, but some of the people L.R. movement did not deserve to be disrespected.
Guess what? We didn't deserve to be disrespected either, but we still got disrespected. You don't get to
Wait,
go.
wait,
Oh,
wait. So wait, hold on. Time out, time out. So you're telling me if person A disrespect person B, which is you, therefore you should disrespect person C, which is me. Is that what you're implying, L.R.?
no, I'm saying if you disrespect me and then I disrespect you back, and a third person comes in a situation and say, I don't like the way you disrespect him, we gonna have an issue. You need to mind your damn business because you only saw the part that bothered you. You didn't see the disrespect that started it. Stop jumping in after the fact, picking who could do what when you don't know how it started. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but there are catalogs of video by your boy that he disrespect people unjustly.
Like
Or
who?
two of your boys have been doing that.
Two.
Yeah. Well, I'm only using that as an example. Two of them. I'm just using that as an example. The ones you hang around with. So therefore, though,
The ones I hang around with.
if I see somebody being dissed, and
Mhm.
and I jumped in, I say, wait a minute, hey, bro, that ain't cool. So you going to jump on me because though I see what I see ain't right.
Okay, I'm gonna use that same logic with you. So who did Aaron Fountain?
I don't know who this air fountain.
Because Aaron Fountain came out of nowhere
I think
dissing people.
Obsidian did.
No,
Obsidian did.
no, 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 no. Aaron Fountain came out of nowhere with the disrespected people. He came out of nowhere with that on multiple occasions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. It's your
So
argument.
it's not my argument, it's what happened. It's not an argument, it's what actually happened. So if once again, if people get at Aaron Fountain, you got an issue with that. What's the problem? The problem is,
I don't have no issue y'all going after Aaron
but
Fountain.
that's part of. I'm doing it. It's part of your
That's not
crew.
my issue. That's not my issue.
But it is your issue because it's your crew. It's the people
He's
that
not
you
my
hang with.
crew. He's not my crew.
You
See, I
said you
don't have
talked
no
to him
crew.
earlier.
See, you
See,
sadly
that's the
mistaken.
problem. That's the problem.
Okay, really.
That's the problem. You can't be. You can't
If I
be.
legitimately had a crew, I would be the baddest motherfucker on this bitch.
Listen, I
Because
get what you're
if
saying.
I was going to coordinate attack, I would have some coordinated attacks on me, coming out of me.
I get what you're saying, but this ain't the Black Panthers. You know who you're gonna be associated with by what you do. Y'all have a y'all have a similar MO. So y'all a crew of people that do the same thing. Y'all know each other. Y'all talk to each other. The same way we know each other and we talk to each other. All of a sudden we're a crew. But when that same logic applies to you everybody's an
Yeah,
individual.
but yellow, but I don't contact those people on a regular basis. You contacted your people on a regular basis though.
How you know that?
Because though we see you on panels all the time though, L.R. If I see you on so and so's panels all the time, therefore I'm assume you've been in contact with that person. I don't be on that many
No.
people's panels.
The
I
only
don't be on that
person,
many
no,
people's panels like that.
no. What panels you talking about? When I used to do the brother pill?
Yeah, the brother Pill
Okay.
Pacho,
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve D
Steve was
Williams,
on it. Donovan was on it. I
Dominant
was on it.
Sharp. Let's
Right.
see who else. It was somebody
O'Shea.
else.
Me and O'Shea
O'Shea.
did it. Right.
Yeah,
So we
Angry Man.
came.
I believe those you was on Angry Man. I believe you was
I
on
would get
Candace
on. I would get
Michelle.
on Hangouts and StreamYards. I
Yeah,
would pop in. I would talk for a while, and I leave.
right.
Oh, so the same way you on this thing with me right now is normally the same way I would operate, except for the brother pill. Except for the brother pill. Just like everybody else in this space hops on people's panels when they talking and they stay on and they stuff. If they got time, they talk. If they don't, they watch. Those isn't that what normally happens?
Yeah, that normally happens,
So how the hell is it different from that?
therefore that would imply that I'm with you though. That would imply though I was part of BJS's game when I used to show up over there. So by
Well, I
that
agree
logic,
with
I might be Manosphere just because you saw me over there all the time. during the early years of the opening days of that so-called gender war.
You already said you were part of it, and then you got out. You didn't like it anymore after the Chrissy thing. So by that logic, when you got turned off by it, you became an enemy of it and stayed hovering around the space just to critique it all the time.
When I said a part of, it wasn't really a part of it, but I mean part of the experience. What I'm talking about wasn't really. I didn't claim myself to be part of the Black Manosphere. I
You
never
do,
had.
and you do realize even the Black Manosphere in itself, when they would have panels, they would come, people would come who didn't like the space, were contrarians, who also built channels disliking the space. Hello?
Can like you please repeat that again, L.R. movement? Go ahead and repeat
Okay.
that, please.
There were people who would come on the panels who didn't like the Black Manosphere. And they were contrarians. And they built their channels from being contrarians and getting into it with people in this space, even from those panels. And they continue to this day. Matter of fact, if I'm gonna be just a completely 100% about it, a lot of it looks like a marketing strategy. Because for the vast majority of the people who do not like the Black Manosphere as a space, you can't stop watching it to make your own content.
Yeah, but you act like the people going after the space don't have content of their own. They could,
They normally don't. Their content is rebuttaling something or getting at someone or going back to an old video or an old issue, rehashing something that
yeah, because y'all in the space, that y'all like to do the five classic talking point. Pookie
right.
versus the educated lane. The is who's better, comparing black women against the other types of women is you know is self improvement good versus talk about women. Then there's another topic about all these other topics. It's just a circular talking point. So
Now,
how can you use other people
interestingly enough,
or bring old videos when y'all have a circular talking points?
right? So if we have circular talking points, you're gonna have circular rebuttals.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that means you ain't making nothing on your own. You waiting for wherever the circle goes, that's where you're going. That's that's the premise. If we're talking Pookie and Ray Ray, you talking Pookie and Ray Ray. If we're talking, the dating scenario or dating Latinas, you're talking dating Latinas. If we're talking, self improvement, you're talking the self improvement. So basically, you're just here.
Hmm. I get it, but if somebody's make so are you talking about somebody that just make video after video about y'all, or are you just talking about somebody who makes a video about y'all, go back to their content, and then make a video about y'all again, then go back to their own regular schedule programming? Are you which type of person you uh detractor you referring to?
The people who make videos about the space and go back to their normally scheduled programming, I say those are people like Jason Black, because Jason Black has other things he talks about. He just takes digs at the space. But the people I'm talking about, or people who might have an issue personally with somebody in the space, and then they make a video that references them, or in some way. People I'm talking about, that's pretty much the bulk of their content.
Okay,
That's
okay.
that's the majority of their content is the Black Manosphere says something, I'm gonna say something. It's like, oh, okay. That's the, and backing up a little bit. I get what you're saying about people in the comment section coming at people. I do get that. What I don't get is, it's funny how in the Black Manosphere we can differentiate who's a troll, who's black or who's not black, who's just causing confusion to keep an argument going. But it seems like the people who dislike the Black Manosphere, y'all can't figure that part out. When you know somebody was directly getting at you, somebody you've seen over and over and over again, I get it. But we don't even address people who just pop up and start dissing people. It's like, no, you one of them folks. Because a lot of this offense comes from the comment section, from people you probably, for the most part, never seen before. And we've never seen before.
Well, some of those people in that conversation will be appearing on other people's panels, though. I mean,
I know those people. Yeah, those people you know. But the people that you've seen on other people's panels, when you see them comment, you know exactly who they are. The other people, we have no idea who half of them are. So we know if you say somebody from the Black Manosphere, or one of the people that watches their channels came at you sideways, you're like, bro, I ain't never even seen that person. Or we got to verify if we've actually seen these people in our chats or not. And, I give it a 50-50. Like, I seen that person. I ain't seen that person. That person trolls me, so now they trolling you. Same thing that happens with Tommy Sotomayor. When Tommy Sotomayor comes to a person's channel, the same trolls that hate him start hating you. And then he leaves and they go trolling him again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like to, I like to cut this short though, because I got something to do though. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you for having me on though, for these 2 hours though. So
I appreciate you for coming, man.
All right, though. Maybe we can continue this sometime at a later date.
No, because if you keep coming and I know you and we cool like that, you part of the space, remember? But yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'll do this some more.
All right, then. I'll see you next time.
You got it. Peace.
All right, then I'm out.
So I'm glad Big J came. I'm gonna shut this thing down now. Y'all say for yourself what y'all think about it. So I'm gonna do a little outro and cut it off. So subscribe without trying. Catch y'all the next time.
Peace. Peace, y'all. Knowledge bomb. What's the science, baby?
What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying.